UK has joined Israel in accusing Iran of being behind what it says was a deliberate attack on an Israeli-operated tanker off the coast of Oman on Friday. 2 crew members, one British and one Romanian, were killed in the attack on the vessel, the Mercer Street. Iran has said any claims it was involved are baseless. Young people in England are to be offered incentives, including discounts from Uber and Deliveroo to get their Covid-19 vaccinations. Further inducements could involve restaurants and cafes. Just over 2/3 of 18 to 29-year-olds have had a first jab, a far smaller proportion than older generations. A 39-year-old man, a 30-year-old woman, and a 13-year-old boy have been arrested on suspicion of murder following the death of a 5-year-old boy in Bridgend in Wales. His body was found in the Ogmore River in the early hours of Saturday morning. Mexico is holding a national referendum on whether former presidents can be investigated and prosecuted for alleged corruption. President López Obrador put the measures forward as part of his anti-corruption drive, but critics say they're unnecessary, and there are concerns not enough people will turn out to vote to make the proposals binding.
The US Senate has reconvened to start moving towards a vote on a $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which it's hoped both Republicans and Democrats will support. The measure could be voted on this week, but there are still sticking points on how it will be funded. Many Republicans are opposed to tax increases on big corporations and wealthy individuals. The video conferencing firm Zoom has agreed to pay $86 million to settle a class action privacy lawsuit in the US. The lawsuit alleged that Zoom had invaded the privacy of millions of users by sharing personal data with Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. The firm denied any wrongdoing but has agreed to boost its security practices. And police in the German capital Berlin have clashed with anti-lockdown demonstrators after they defied a court ban and gathered illegally. Police used batons and tear gas, saying some of its officers had been harassed and attacked in the western Charlottenburg district.
Bitcoin investors are bracing for more volatility. News that Germany may allow more institutional investors into the cryptocurrency space is countering fears that the new US infrastructure package will tax the sector and limit growth. Bitcoin is now trading at its highest levels since mid-May. Disney's Jungle Cruise pulled in more than $34 million at the US box office this weekend, despite growing concerns about the Delta variant. The movie raked in another $30 million on Disney Plus in the new hybrid model of theatre plus streaming releases. The movie itself cost $200 million to make. HSBC Holdings saw its first half pre-tax profit more than double, comfortably beating expectations as the bank benefited from an economic rebound in Hong Kong and Britain, its 2 biggest markets. Pre-tax profit for Europe's biggest bank by assets came in at $10.8 billion, compared with $4.32 billion in the same period a year earlier. It also said, given the brighter outlook globally as economies recover better than expected from the pandemic, it now expects credit losses to be below its medium-term forecast. Janet Mui, Investment Director of Brewin Dolphin, says it's all good news for shareholders. Profits at the Dutch beer maker Heineken doubled in the first half of this year, beating expectations. The maker of lagers, including Heineken, Tiger and Sol, said operating profit hit $1.93 billion, but the world's second-largest brewer also warned it would face weaker trading for the rest of the year amid rising costs and as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to hit key markets.